As the three of them sat on boxes as makeshift stools waiting for their pork joint to cook, the smells emanating over to them causing them all to salivate, Jamie broke the silence. "So you a traitor then?" he huffed at Reggie. "I can see the crap they've put into this chip in my head. I've had lots of time, but could be a trap." He narrowed his eyes at the human medic. "No bud, no tricks, none of it is false," Reggie said placidly. "I lost plenty during the war, but in the day and age we find ourselves in, we have to be able to adapt. We can't hold on to stuff like that when there are worse things out there." He glanced at Jude, wondering if he should continue, but thought better of it. "Sounds like something a traitor would say," said Jamie with eye-dry chuckle, still obviously dubious, but seeming to be becoming more conversational. "What did you do in the war then?" "'Cause last thing I remember about it, I was flying a ship around a completely unremarkable planet and got hit with an orbital mine." Jude stiffened slightly, knowing that this could be a tough conversation for Reggie, but Reggie replied without even so much as a pause. "Well, I'm a medic. I was a combat medic back then. Did my share of missions both planet-side and aboard ships. People died no matter where I was. So when the war ended, I tried to get into cross-species exchanges. I didn't have to look at people that reminded me of the boys I lost," he said with a somber tone. "Guess I was fooling myself. 'Cause I eventually specialized in mental health triage and initial treatment, which brought me straight back to the lads. Kept losing them too, though." Jamie sat and listened intently, clearly gauging the medic's body language and story, his own body language beginning to soften slightly. When at that moment, Jewett was walking back over with a plate of freshly roasted Centaurian sow shoulder. The two men jumped slightly. Neither had noticed her leave during their conversation. "Sorry, I was trying to not intrude," she stammered, setting the meat down on the makeshift table between them. "It's fine," said Jamie, his momentary drop in his defenses clearly unsettling him. "Thanks, I guess." Reggie glanced at Jamie and said, "I'm gonna cut the meat, that okay?" as he motioned to his pocket. Jamie merely nodded, but eyed him suspiciously as Reggie pulled a knife from his pocket. "Unless you'd rather do it. I'm sure you've had plenty of practice over the last 15 years. He chuckled as he offered the knife to Jamie. Jamie looked at him dubiously before slowly reaching for the knife, clearly still not trusting Reggie. As he took it, he paused looking around, then picked up the fork that was on the plate that Jude had used to take it out of the cooker. Deftly slicing the meat into manageable amounts, he put some on each plate, and for a moment they all sat and ate in silence. Once Jamie had finished, he took a closer look at the knife, something stirring in his memories. Like a memory of a memory. As he inspected it, he saw the words per mere, per terram, etched on the blade. "Is this—" Jamie seemed to almost remember, and Reggie said, "It was a gift. I was never a Marine, but one of the boys I lost was, and he gave that to me. Had I made special for me." Jamie felt the weight of it in his hand. It was perfectly balanced, and fit his hand comfortably, every curve on the handle feeling so natural it could have been made for him. Knowing that this clearly meant a lot to the medic, Jamie handed it back to him. "Seemed to fit you better than it does me. Maybe hold on to it and we can share a bit again tomorrow," said Reggie, a raised eyebrow and a shrug. "I'd like that," said Jamie, still looking at the knife, contemplating everything that had just happened, looking almost childlike despite his hulking mass and wild appearance. As the two got up to leave, Jamie called to them as they reached the door. "Beef tomorrow?" They both nodded and smiled as they headed back out into the ship.